It was a quiet morning. The kind where one moves slowly, clearing the fog from your head as you make plans for the day ahead. Nothing felt urgent. The sky outside looked unchanged. But something was off. The Faceless's coach had just arrived at work and noticed he had a lot of notifications. So he sat down, opened his phone, and everything shifted. Videos poured in. The group chats were buzzing. The headlines were no longer speculation. One of the neighboring countries was responding to an attack, and the flashes could be seen in the sky. Not somewhere far, right here, above the Gulf. In the skies over the place he now called home. People were sharing footage. Some dismissed it while others voiced growing alarm. But one thing was clear. This wasn't a drill, and they weren't spectators anymore. He sat there for a while, just watching. And somewhere between those blurry videos and the work emails he was still expected to answer, something sank in. In that moment, very little actually mattered. Not the meeting scheduled that day. Not the spreadsheet tab still open on his screen. Because when danger passes that close, you don't think about work, or money, or success. His mind narrowed swiftly to survival, and then to the faces of those he was entrusted to protect. He didn't panic, but he didn't pretend everything was fine either. Instead, he called his wife, calmly explaining what had happened and what they needed to do. No official alerts echoed through the city. No evacuation orders flashed on screens, but he knew instinctively that it was time to prepare. That evening, he and his wife sat together, quietly making a list of essentials that could fit into 2 bags, just in case they needed to leave swiftly. For the next 3 days after work, their routine shifted. Intentional shopping trips became their priority. They started with food, canned food, high-calorie snacks. Things that could sustain them for 4 days if they had to leave the house. His wife thoughtfully chose comfort snacks their son loved, because survival is about more than just calories. It's about holding on to a sense of normalcy amidst chaos. Next, they faced the critical task of securing water, a lifeline there in the Middle East. Their usual delivery was overwhelmed, delayed by days. Without hesitation, they drove from store to store, collecting bottles of water in various shapes and sizes. Brands didn't matter, water was water. Then came the flashlights, check. A portable stove with butane canisters, check. Clothing, medications, passports, check, check, check. And then something strange yet essential, tape. Not for packing boxes, but for sealing windows, doors, and air vents. You see, the country was close to a nuclear power plant, and there was real fear it could become a casualty of war. If radiation leaked, the sirens would sound, granting them an hour. Just enough time to seal the house or flee. His wife packed 2 bags meticulously, one for her, one for him. Each held essentials to survive and nothing more. Standing in the hallway, watching her zip those bags closed with calm, purposeful resolve, something stirred deeply within the Faceless coach. This woman wasn't just the heart of their home. She was the quiet strength, calm, resolute, and steadfast. The anchor holding steady when the world shifted beneath their feet. And because she held the line at home, the Faceless coach continued showing up at work. Stepping into meetings, smiling for the camera, acting as if missiles hadn't flown overhead, pretending as if he didn't have a tape in his kitchen drawer, and as though they had not spent hours rehearsing evacuation routes. He did what was expected as a man, a husband, and a father. You learn a lot in moments like that, not just about the world, but about yourself. You discover who checks in, who stays silent, and what you truly value when noise fades and you are left with only essentials. Reflecting on that time, I realized something powerful. Leadership isn't always visibility and presence. Sometimes the deepest form of leadership is quietly preparing behind the scenes. It's gently explaining hard truths to a child without planting fear. It's packing bags when no one's watching. It's bracing for the worst, yet fiercely protecting hope. That's what his wife gave them. And that's why the Faceless coach could keep going. In that uncertainty, another truth became crystal clear. When life reduces everything you own to 2 bags, you understand unmistakably what actually matters. Not your title, not your account balance, or your ambitions. What really matters is faith, hope, and the covenant of love you've nurtured with those who stand beside you when everything else falls away. So, pause with me for a moment. If everything had to fit into 2 bags today, what would you take? Who would matter most? And perhaps most importantly, what quiet actions are you taking right now to honor and protect them? We often wait for emergencies to clarify our values, but wisdom makes space long before sirens sound. At the Faceless Coach, we hold space for leaders like you, those navigating pressure, ambition, and faith without a clear script. And if this resonated, subscribe on YouTube, check out the podcast, and join the newsletter at thefacelesscoach.com. Until next time, stay grounded, stay courageous, and never lose sight of what and who actually matters. We at the Faceless Coach believe in you. You've got this.